Ready? Here we go. And yeah, so I've been begging for weeks for more information on basically what was going to happen with the Steam Deck. And I was just saying to Corey the other day, I was like, it's real interesting for somehow they're going to have people pay for this thing and do different things, but we haven't gotten any updates as to when it's going to actually ship, and it's coming down to the wire. Well, the wire has come and gone because kaboom, Steam Deck is been delayed by 2 months. So many of the customers that actually got issued Steam Deck numbers for purchase that were going to be in the last quarter of 2021 got emails the other day that basically said nothing better than, "Hey, we can't get the supplies that we need in time to our
Mm.
production facility, and basically your Steam Deck is going to be delayed now till February." So now my email that I actually sent it to Corey. I sent him a picture and I was like, basically the F word, and said, "Dude, it's really delayed. I'm kind of annoyed." And basically what it
Yep.
said, mine said is hello full OLED, because that's my screen name. It said the launch of the Steam Deck will be delayed. Actually, you know what? I can bring this one up. And basically they went on a
Okay.
little bit
Cool.
further
Yeah.
into detail about it. So let me actually bring the picture up, because I actually forgot that I actually took a picture of it, because I did.
Is he
This is the
Pictar?
Pictar. Hold on a second. Gosh darn it. Give me that. Give me this. Here, you guys can feast your eyes on this bad boy, because here it is. There it is. All right, here you go. Ready? Coming to you live. This is basically what it said. It said, boom, boom, boom. I'll edit this out later. So it said, "Hello, full OLED. The Steam launch of the Steam Deck will be delayed by 2 months. We're sorry about this. We did our best to work around the globe supply chain issues, but due to demand and material shortages, actually, components aren't reaching our manufacturing facilities in time for us to meet our initial launch dates. Based on your updated build estimates, Steam Deck will start shipping in February 2022. Will be a new start date of reservations queuing. You'll be placed in line, but dates will shift back accordingly. Reservation dates estimate will be updated shortly after this announcement. Again, we're sorry you won't be able to make your original ship date. We'll continue working to improve the reservation dates beyond the new timeline. We'll keep you updated as we go." Bummer.
Yeah.
Thoughts, ideas?
Refresh me, dude. What you ordered the
Yeah, I
512,
did.
right? So basically, what we could guess there is all of them are delayed, right? Because they would seemingly prioritize. I mean, it would make sense, but seemingly prioritize the most expensive and premium, higher
Mhm.
models. So that would make sense as far as everyone's being
Yeah.
delayed. So on their website, I know they said expected delivery for even what the latest one would be Q2
Yeah.
2022. So that means, and again, we could think that you're probably near the front of the line. I know when you ordered it, I was there, and it
Oh,
was
I
quick.
am front of the
You
line.
you were on
Yeah.
top of it. We were on top of it that day. So you should be pretty high on the line. And of course, I know we'll keep everybody up to date whenever you hear something on when yours is going to arrive. But yeah, that would make sense that everybody's delayed. Like if you didn't order your Steam Deck until a few days
Yeah.
after, it's gonna be summer maybe,
Something
depending on
like
which one
that.
you got. It might,
Now,
yeah,
I am a launch day drop, meaning that mine is supposed to ship on whatever the launch day is. So that's the problem that I have with the Steam Deck being late, is that it was pretty late in the game from that actually make this announcement. I think they should have been a little
hmm
bit more forthcoming in the fact that they released videos on the Steam Deck that said, "Hey, by the way, you're going to be able to break this thing open. This is what you can and can't do." Linus got his hands on it and it was like, "Hey, this thing's pretty awesome. You
right,
guys are going to be excited, and we can't believe that they're actually encouraging you guys a little bit to open the thing up."
yep,
And then kaboom, hey, it's going to be late. So it's annoying. I mean, it's annoyance. And sure, I guess the biggest thing is, hey, it happened to the PS5 last year. It happened to the Xbox Series X, the Series S.
yeah,
Valve is not immune to this, but it's annoying to see the technology is continually no joke, it's missing the boat. Now
yep,
my
yep.
question is, does this hurt Steam as a brand all of a sudden, because they don't have the backlog of people with hardware in their hands except for their VR componentry, okay, and some off
Right,
brand stuff. This was their big foray into both the handheld gaming market and really making that plunge into the PC gaming market as well, because they touted the fact that this thing could also sit in a dock and be used at a desk. So
yep.
what Do you think it's going to hurt them, or you think people are just going to clamor for it so much it ain't going to make a difference and it's just going to make it more valuable?
I think since it's definitely something everybody's looking forward to, as you said, for mobile gaming, and especially as you mentioned that it's compatible with anything that's compatible with the Proton compatibility layer in Steam. So anything in your Steam library that runs with Proton compatibility, and we could talk about it a little bit if you don't know
Mhm.
what that is. But that's just a way for devices to run for it to run on multiple devices, and Steam Deck is obviously compatible with that. So you can run a whole lot, many of the big name games on that you have on Steam on your PC through the Steam Deck. That's huge drive, and we already saw a bunch of videos online, which you guys have talked about too, that it runs many of the top games and runs them well. So I think that everybody's looking forward to this. On that same note, I don't think there's any major competitors against this in the market
No, not
that
that's as compact.
so
Yeah,
especially with there's not like an Origin, and there's not like anything else that's a handheld thing like that, other than you know possibly other emulators or just smaller PCs that people will just move around, but nothing like a handheld. We're talking like Nintendo Switch, but on steroids for other PC games that you really would be really cool to run on the
sure.
go.
So here's
So
the thing: there's
I
other
don't think I
purchasable
think it
units,
hits the
right? Though.
whole market a bit, but not necessarily Steam
Right. So
itself.
so here's my point, right? My point is that there's other units out there that are very similar to a Steam Deck. The problem is they're not a Valve
Mhm.
created entity, so that means their
Yeah.
components are not all put together with the idea of running the vast library, like you said, at the resolutions
Hmm.
that they're supposed to
Yep.
and making them look
Yep.
good. The also thing that they're saying is that they also had to have other developers get on board to make sure all everything was flipped on for them, because basically this chipset
Hmm.
is unique to this system. It's got a lot of integrated chips in it, and it's very unique. And it also has to have the anti-cheat
Yep.
codes and the battle eye stuff to support
Yep.
the
Yep.
other stuff
Yep.
inside of Epic Games and so forth. So
Hmm.
it's a
Yep.
bummer. It's delayed. I wish there was a little bit more talk about it everywhere else, but for eager purchasers like myself that were willing to forego a PS5 or an Xbox this year and kind of said, "Hey, this is the one that I'm really going to go for because I think I can get my hands on it."
Yep.
To have one, a day one delivery, all of a sudden delayed, bummed. So let us know what you guys think in the comments
Yeah.
below. It's just
Yep.
bummer. I think you're going to see this a lot more
Yep.
for
Agreed.
PS5 and the Xbox, even going further into next year. So it could be real bad.
Yep.
Now, the other thing that I also have to ask is, does this hurt the value? And we'll continue this discussion. Like, subscribe, follow. But on a totally different discussion is,
Mhm.
this is Christmas number 2 of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and it just popped into my head of them not making delivery dates. And if you have the life cycle of a gaming system, which is on the average of 5 years, and this is your second holiday season where you're getting totally destroyed in sales because you can't have units on the shelf, how bad is that going to impact the console market, and let alone the video card situation, which is going through the
Yes.
same thing? A whole generation
Yep.
has gone missing.
Yep. As soon as you brought it up, I was going to mention exactly that, to say, hey, remember a year and a half ago when we were talking about, hey, I'm going to be looking at getting a 1080 RTX 1080. I'm going to build a new
Yeah.
PC. Cool. I was pretty excited, looking at pricing
You
my
mean a
system out.
3080?
I'm not willing to pay the scalp
No.
prices, and I know you can find them at some like Best Buy brick and mortar. You got to, camp out there. I know there's ways to find them better than super high prices.
Yeah.
I know. But I kinda honestly, just for me, I'm kinda looking at the EVGA version of
Mhm.
the card, and I just can't find that in a good
No.
price. And just as you said, man, I mean, we're gonna go through where there's gonna be another generation of these cards come out, new silicon, better, but, everything, all the upgrades that, they wanna make, and I'm gonna skip it. I'm just gonna skip it. I'm not just
Yeah,
not
see,
gonna
but
do
then
it.
that's gonna
So
blow the market to pieces, because look, if other people are taking on the same mentality as you, is that it's not worth it for me to stay in this game that long because the next gen is already on the backside of what's coming,
yep,
and I'm just gonna wait with my purchase dollars. Sure, they're gonna get they sold out their first set of cards, but I'm sure probably not at the same volume they would have expected. And the same thing with the Xbox and the PS5.
yep,
So, you know,
yep,
where's the money going to come up at the end where somebody goes and reaches into their pocket and they go, "Hey, we didn't make the money that we did on this one. We're kind of going to fall short of our numbers." And that's going to be tragic. And then when year 7 comes in of the Xbox Series X and you were a late purchaser because you couldn't get your hands on it for 2 years, how shorted are you going to feel that your library is only maybe good for 3 years on that system? That would piss me off.
yep, yep.
So,
And there's a lot of talk about people picking up these handheld or these hand-me-down or pre-used
Hmm.
cards, especially from Bitcoin miners and things of that nature. And I just want to say, if you're seeing this video and you're thinking about exactly that, oh, finding a video card that's been used for mining a little bit on the cheap, just know I've seen some stuff that says there's at least 10% upwards, maybe 40% less speed and longevity out of those cards because they're running it just completely flat
Mm,
out for weeks at a time when they're doing Bitcoin or crypto
right.
mining. So just it's yeah, it's like everything else, man. There's in tech, it's just
It is
crazy.
nuts.
And as far as wanting to maybe skip a gen, I mean, yeah, that's gonna affect the company. If I mean, obviously the end users, of course, sure, and the way the people spend because they just can't get the
Right.
supply, and they're not willing to pay for the demand, obviously. But yeah, the bottom line of these companies, I mean, the demand is so high still, but they just can't get them. They just can't get them
No,
out the
it's a
door.
true. I mean, here it's disturbing. Okay. It's a new trend. And let's hope it ends soon because the bottom line also is going to be these high-end, tech dollar goods that are being pretty much subtracted from people's purchasing power over the holiday season make a huge dent in the bottom line of Christmas sales because this is usually when these manufacturers like
Yep.
Sony, Microsoft and Nvidia and so on and so forth have their biggest amount of sales because they're excellent Christmas gifts because they're high dollar items, right? Ain't gonna
Right.
happen. Bottom line is this Christmas is gonna suck for manufacturers too. Their bottom line profits are gonna be hurt, and I'm wondering when we the consumers are gonna feel the collapse of that little part of the economy. It ain't gonna be so strong this year. So interesting.
Yep. And I mean, don't forget Black Friday's right around
I
the corner,
know.
and I gotta tell you, if you find if you're watching this video, if you find something on Black Friday that you know you want or as a gift for somebody
Right.
else, and you have and I'm not telling spend the money if you've got it, sure, but if you find it and you can afford it, you just better buy it then because you're not gonna find it for
Nope.
Christmas.
They're gonna be gone.
It's just gonna be anything techie is just yeah, it's just not gonna
Not
be
gonna
there.
be there. No, I agree. So hey, the other part of it is that was just a completely like we just had that conversation right off the cuff because it was just interestingly enough to just see what's going on with that. Okay.